Chapter 7, Descriptive Writing. Most good descriptive writing appeals to the reader's senses, and good descriptive writing can describe feelings or behavior without directly concentrating on the senses. Remember that sight is only one of the five. You also must include sound, taste, smell, and touch. In addition, I want you to remember the emotional impact that you can have with your descriptive writing. Here you see a chart that looks at the abstract, or the do-nots, and the concrete, or the do's. There are sections that you can fill in here based on what you've written to make sure that you've covered all of the areas of descriptive writing that you need to. The first category is the physical. This is just what you can see. Abstract details in the physical area would be something like bright if you're discussing colors, or high if you're discussing how tall something is. Instead of just saying it was high, you can move it over to the concrete category by saying it was 17 feet tall. The second category is sensory details. This deals with your ears, your tongue, your nose, and your hands. In other words, hearing, tasting, smelling, and touching. Instead of saying something was rough, you can talk about how it felt like sandpaper. That moves from being abstract to being concrete. Also, you could talk about something being salty, which would put it in the abstract category, versus the concrete if you discussed the Dead Sea tasted. The final category you see here is the emotional details, and that deals with the heart. Instead of saying it was something that was sentimental, you could talk about a specific period in time, such as when your grandmother and you baked an apple pie together. We want to fill up the concrete side instead of the abstract. There are three things that descriptive writing must have. First of all, it must have a thesis. Second, it must have an order, and the only orders that could be used are chronological or spatial. And finally, details. Make sure you only choose the details that directly connect to your thesis. Just remember, a descriptive paper is like a picture.